Welcome, everybody, to the 2022 Season 1 voting. What this is a monthly poll that determines which games get added, which games get removed, and some other factors that can affect Season 2. So, last year we didn't have images and stuff. This year I decided we are going to put images inside of the polls as well, so people can look at it in reference for some questions. Not all the questions have an image for reference, but the other images are just there to be there. Like, for example, the Season 1 background that you see down there. But every image is relevant to the next question that you're going to answer. So, here in the 2022 Season 1 voting, your choice depends on what happens during Season 2. What that means is what you select is going to be for that specific thing. So let's scroll down. The first question, now I'm going to be filling this out while I'm recording this, but I'm not going to submit my response because I'm not going to vote. But what is your favorite part of Season Y and why? Well, for me, we're going to say the Minecraft part, because there was a large community who played this season. And then you answer that. And then you got the Season 2 background. So the next question is, are you excited for Season 2? It's a short answer. You don't have to put in a long one or not. But I'm going to say yes. You don't have to put why if you don't know. Because we don't know everything about Season 2 yet. That's what this poll is for, so we actually learn what's going to be in Season 2. So which squad is your favorite this season out of the 4 teams we have? Mine was Blue Team. Because, well, that was the team I was on. And then you got the Season 1 squads with every single member on it. Don't know why there's 2 images in a row. This shouldn't have been a thing. This image should have been up here, actually. I'll make sure to move that once I'm done recording this. Check who during this season do you enjoy? Probably everyone on the list. So I only listed top fans, but you can also list others as well. I'm going to say everyone relevant to Huge Odin 1. Meaning people like there we go. Spelling issue. Yeah, so you could put anyone there. You could put text there. You could put a person in the other category if they're not on the list. So as you can see, here are the Season 2 teams. This is not final. There could be another one coming because we are close to hitting another top fan milestone, which means we'll probably have 6 or 7 teams if we get a lot more. We still got 10 days left in the season, so... Yeah, our expansion team is Purple Team, meaning we are now going to have 5 different squads. Which all have 6 spots open except for Blue Team, because I'm automatically going to be on Blue Team. So if you are a top fan on My Omelet Arcade, which is the requirement to be on a team, which isn't too hard. What team do you want to be on in Season 2? and then you'd select which one you want. I want to be on blue team because that's my team. And then this question is optional, but it's necessary for putting people on teams. So what you do is tell me what your omelet ID is so I can put you on the team. But if you are not going to be a top fan or you're not going to want to join a team, then you can put NA as well. Again, it's optional, but I'm going to put my ID on there. The Season 1 game map, which means the next question is going to be about the seasons. On a scale from 0 to 10, how well were the games this season? Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to give it a 10 because some of the games were just terrible. But I'm going to give it a 6 because I'm going to give it a 7. There was a bunch of good games, but some of the other games either lagged a lot or crashed. So I'm going to give it a C, basically. Here's the Season 1 calendar. What was your favorite day of the season? I would say that would be January 20... What? No. That's January 15th. So do not put any other number but 1 inside of the month. I can't remove that for some reason. So next one is, what time do you usually watch my streams? I usually start watching my own streams, which is basically playing the game because I'm basically seeing it happen live. But for my main streams, I usually begin at 2. And then how long do I usually watch? Well, that's about the easiest question on here because, well, for me at least, because I'm streaming the whole time. But it's about 9 hours a day. 8 towards the regular periods of the day, and 1 towards flex. And then here's the questions that really matter. Now you're ranking the games from the best to the worst, meaning, as you can see, 1 will only score 1 point for a game, while a 12 will score the most points for a game. This will determine which games move on to the next season or not. If there's a tie, there will be a whatever game with the highest seed out of the tied games would be higher than the other game. Which is very unlikely that we're going to tie because there is 12 different scoring options. So let's see. What games were cool? So I'm going to automatically put Candy Crush as the worst. I don't think that's a good game for me to play. Doodle Jump. I'm going to set these. What was the 3rd worst game, though? Or 4th worst game? I'm going to just put it as Among Us. There's not really that much to that game. Number 5. I'm gonna say Genshin as 6. No, I'll put it at 7. PUBG can be 6. Then who's going on 5? No one's got 5 yet. Well, I'll put Pokemon Go at 5 because it's not really. I'm just sitting there doing nothing the whole time. Call of Duty Mobile can get the 8. I'm putting Free Fire above that because it's not as laggy as COD was. But then again, no. We'll put these higher because Brawl Stars is not better than these two games. What was the best game on here then? Definitely not Mobile Legends. Mobile Legends is a good game, but it's not number one. So I'm gonna put Mobile Legends at the 9. Clash of Clans wasn't the best either, so I'm going to put these games even higher. That would make Free Fire the best game out of Conference 1. So yeah, that's how you basically rank them. You cannot put a game in the same row. If it lets you, please don't do that. It's a bug going around in Google forums. But they all have to be different score values. And then you get to do it again in Conference 2. I'm going to automatically put Minecraft on number 1. And which one is the worst? This one. I hated that one. That one annoyed me. There's no point in having a game that's not going to be played either, so I'm going to put this one at the lowest. But in reality, there's a chance, so I'm going to put it at an 8. Doom gets a 10. Roblox 11. Retro Bowl I'm going to put at a 2 because it's not really that entertaining. Clash Royale 3, just because of how irritating it is. FIFA I'll put at a 9. No, a 7. Subway Surfers 6. Creative Destruction. Yeah, I'm going to move Creative Destruction to dead last. That game is just basically hard to maneuver in anything. Five Nights at Freddy's. It's not that entertaining. But I'm going to put it at a 5 because that's where it probably should be. I'm going to move up some games. I'm going to move up Geometry Dash because to make room for 8-Ball Pool at number 8. And which number does not have one yet? Number 1. Nope, it's 12. Oh, Rocket League Sideswipe is already answered. I put it at a 2. Yeah, I'm fair with that one too. Game traits. Describe the games that were used this season. What this basically means is you're describing which ones work. You're basically describing games. Let's start with destruction. Call of Duty. Was it really destructive? I say yes. Exciting. It can be exciting. Competitive. It has a community. Challenging at times. There's not really a strategy that I know of, but there is there are pro ways to win though. Completion, you can complete objectives. Power, there's not really growth in power other than getting better guns and stuff, but fantasy, it's not really that real fantasy-like. There's not much of a storyline in the game. Design's good, but Discovery, you're just playing at the same places. Among Us. Destruction, yes, people get murdered. Exciting, I'm not going to say it's exciting because I play it so much. It's the same thing every time. Completion, there's not really that many objectives. Community, there is a community. Is it challenging? It can be challenging at times, especially if you get a group of people that don't know what they're doing. Strategy, yes, there's a strategy. Completion, yes. Power, no. There's no storyline, there's no fantasy. Design, it's a little basic, but I'm going to not give it to that. PUBG, destructive, yes. Exciting, yes. Completion, challenging at times. There's strategy, goals. Yeah, it's basically the same as Call of Duty. Clash of Clans, is there destruction? Heck yeah, there's destruction. You destroy buildings whenever you land in another opponent's territory. It can be exciting. It has a competition. Has a major, large community. It can be challenging. There is a strategy. It's the whole point of the game. Completion, there are some goals that you can do once you unlock the Town Hall 7. You can get a battle pass option, but power, yes, you can get more powerful. Fantasy, it's kind of fantasy-like. I mean, it's got a couple of troops that wouldn't be realistic. It doesn't have a storyline, though. I've never seen it have a storyline, other than their YouTube channels, but that doesn't count. Design's good. Discovery, you could discover other people's bases, but it's not that much. Genshin Impact. We just played this yesterday. We're gonna say yes for destruction because you can kill things. Can be exciting. Competition, not my bad. Community, it's got a community. I just haven't seen anyone yet. Can be challenging. I know that for sure because there's harder points in the game. Strategy, completion, power, fantasy, storyline, got a good design. Discovery, I think you can invite people to other areas as well. So that's actually the first game that has all 12 aspects. That's crazy. Free Fire, destruction, yes. Exciting, yes. Completion, yeah. Community has a challenge. Strategy, completion, doesn't have power, and it's not fantasy-like. And it doesn't really have a storyline either. But it's got a design. Brawl Stars. Destruction, yes. Excitement, yes. It's got a competition. It's got a community. It is challenging at times. There is a strategy. That's the whole point of that game as well. Completion, yes, there are battle things you can complete. You can grow in strength. So I'm going to give it power. I mean, it can be fantasy-like because there is magic involved in the game sometimes. It doesn't have a storyline. It's got a good design. And Discovery, well, yeah, because people can create their own maps. But I don't know where you can do that, because I don't think it's possible in the mobile version, because there is nominees that they go through every day of players' maps. So yeah, Pokemon Go. There's no destruction other than battling others' Pokemon. It can be exciting. Completion. Yeah, there are objectives. Community, there's a large community. Challenging, yes. Strategy. There is a strategy to the game, dependent on the element of Pokemon. Completion. Power, yes. Fantasy is definitely. Storyline, there's not much of a storyline. Design, well, really it's just a compass, but they did well. And Discovery. Definitely, because you can find other places IRL. Angry Birds 2, destruction, That's the point of the game. Exciting, I don't find it exciting, though. Completion or competition, there can be competition. They have evolved from the olden days. Community, it's not that great. It's not that big. Challenge, yes. Strategy, completion. Power is, I don't think that's a power game. It's definitely fantasy because birds don't usually get flung out of slingshots. It has a storyline. It has a good design-ish. But it doesn't really have discovery. You know, I wish Angry Birds Epic was still a thing. That was a good game. I don't know why I can't find it on the App Store anymore. Mobile Legends. I haven't played this game, but I know for a fact it's got destruction, excitement, competitive, and has a community. It's challenging, and there's a strategy involved. It has completion and power. Well, I don't think it has power, I don't think. But we'll see. Fantasy and story. I know it's fantasy, but I don't know if it has a story. We'll have to find out when I play it. Design and discovery. It has a good design. Candy Crush. This one's probably going to get barely anything. Destruction, well, you destroy candy. Excitement, it's boring as crap. Competition, it's not really much of a competition. Community is not a large community either. Challenge, it can be challenging. Strategy, there is a strategy involved in that game. Completion, yes, I would say that. Power, no. The game is basically on skill. Fantasy, well, you don't break candy every day, so yeah. Story, doesn't have a storyline. Design and discovery. The design's basic, I'm not gonna lie. Doodle Jump. This one's got the most basic design, but there is some destruction where you kill enemies. Excitement, I'll give it to them. Completion and community. Well, let's say for a fact the community is very small, as it takes a good wait just to matchmake in the original game. But it is a competition. It can be it's very challenging. It's not really a strategy, though. Completion and power. There is objectives you can do, but there's not really power. It's fantasy and story. It has a fantasy, but it doesn't have a storyline. And design and discovery. Design's basic. Minecraft. This is the game I wanted to vote for a while. Destruction, excitement, I gotta say, give both of those. Completion and community. It has the largest community I've ever seen. Challenge and strategy. It can be challenging, and there is strategies as well. Completion and power. You can get more powerful by crafting better gear. And challenging. It is challenging. For completion as well. There are some objectives you can do. Fantasy and storyline. They have both because there is a small story at the end. But it's not really too much of a story, so I'm not going to give it to them. Design and discovery. I'll give it both because it has randomly generated stuff. Doom. It's just overall one of the greater games as well. Community's not too big, though. Especially noting that this is a single-player game that doesn't really connect to the internet at all. But some people have made it a battle royale, but that's with mods. But that's the point of the game, so I'm going to give it to them. because the developers want people to mod the game. Can be challenging, and there is a strategy. I remember streaming it, and I got stuck in this one level because I couldn't find ammo. Completion, power. You can get more powerful by finding better guns. Fantasy and storyline. Well, I'm going to give it storyline because there is some text involved. Design, discovery. Does it have a good design? Yeah, it has a great design for being a video game made in the 90s. Or whatever year it was made on. It might have been made on 1989. I'm not too sure. Let's look that up real quick. $1994. No, that's Doom. That's Doom 2. I want the classic one. $1993. It was in the 90s. Why did I say the 80s? Am I broken? Uh-oh, where'd the poll go? Wasn't done. And discovery, well, you can find different people's stuff. So this game actually does have all 12 aspects to make it a great game. That's why everyone loves it. Like, that's exactly why everyone loves Doom. Has all 12 aspects. And if a game is built to have all 12 aspects, it will last a long time. Geometry Dash. Destruction, not really. Excitement, at sometimes, yeah. Completion and community. There's a large community, but some of the community members aren't that great. Challenge and strategy. There's a challenge, but there's not really a strategy. You have to figure out the route more than try to get an advantage over something. Now, sometimes you can get an advantage over something if the creator of the level has built the level wrong and there's a secret exit. Completion and power. So for completion and power, there is completion, but there's no power whatsoever. Fantasy, kind of. It doesn't have a storyline, though, unless if people make it, but the game itself doesn't have it. It has a nice design, and it's got good discovery. Retro Bowl. Destruction, no. Excitement, it can be at times. Competition and community, neither, because it's a single player game that cannot be modded to be multiplayer at all at any given moment. Challenge, strategy, there's us both are gonna give that. Completion, power. Completion and power. Let's say you can get a powerful team and you can complete objectives that you need to do. Fantasy and storyline. There's a small storyline, so I'll give it to that. But it doesn't really have fantasy in it. So yeah. Design and discovery. I mean, there is a decent design for the theme they wanted to go with, which is 8-bit. But discovery, well, you can't really discover anything in there. Roblox. Destruction, exciting. It's got competition and it's got a massive community, but it's right now at risk right now because there is some court issues that could spread to parents, which could ban kids from playing the game because the majority of the community is children, but some people are not, so not everyone would be gone. But that's something that's under Roblox's issues. It's not any, so we can't really fix that. Challenge and strategy. Give it both because there are games on there that have strategies and challenges. Completion and power. Both. Fantasy is storyline. There are some games on there that have a storyline and have fantasy in it. Design and discovery. So yeah, all 12. That's why Roblox is popular. If a game gets all 12 of these aspects, you notice that these games are popular. At least from me, in my personal voting. Everyone's different, so they have a different opinion when it comes to each aspect of how it should be determined. Clash Royale. Destruction, excitement. Oh, I've had some close games in that. Competition and community. It's got them both. Challenge, strategy. Completion and power. I'll give them both that. Fantasy and a storyline. It doesn't have a storyline, so I'm not going to give it story. Design and discovery. It has this good design, but there are no fan-made areas. FIFA Soccer Mobile. Destruction, not really destructive, but excitement, it can be exciting. It's got both of these. The game has changed now, so it's not like what it was in 2021. It's now everyone's reset, and I believe anything over 99 overall no longer exists. I believe they tried to optimize it to where it only goes from 99 overall and below now. And sadly, they did reset everyone. So I had a 125 overall team on there. I don't have that no more. So is there a challenge and strategy to FIFA? Both. Completion and power. You can get better team, because you're basically playing Ultimate Team, but on your phone. A fantasy and a storyline. But isn't neither. Hopefully one day some of these EA games on mobile add a franchise mode, rather than just seasons, which NFL has. Design and discovery. It's good, decent design. They've improved their graphics. Subway Surfers. There's destruction. No. It's exciting though. Competition and community. Both. Challenge and strategy. There is a challenge, but there is also a strategy to surviving as well. It's not that big though. Completion and power. There is power because you can upgrade your equipment, like the rockets, pogo sticks, bouncy shoes, and I believe the coin magnet. Actually, no, I don't think the pogo stick is upgradable, but the multiplier one was. Fantasy, story. There's sort of, but it's really only the characters, so I'm not going to give it that one. Design and discovery. Well, the design of the game is kind of weird because trains can go through each other. Like, there's stopped trains, but where do those trains that go forward in the same lane as the stopped trains go? They don't crash into them, they go through them. So, yeah. Discovery? Not really. So there's not too many aspects, but it's decent. Creative destruction. Well, it is destructive. And it can be exciting. Completion and community, that's a, both of a yes. It's not a large community because it's scuffed. Challenge and strategy. Why is it now it's telling me, please don't select more than one response per column. Yeah, that's a bug. I'm going to fix that. It's supposed to be, I guess it edited the wrong questions. But yeah, we're going to just edit that out because that's like a long period of time. And then after that, those questions, you draft what game do you want to be added for Season 2. The top 5 games that get voted on here will be put into Season 2. Remember, do not select games that are A, already on the schedule, or B, eliminated, which we don't have any eliminated games, so do not select any of the 24 games that are featured this season. You can only select games that are not on the schedule. So there's 2 requirements to this. Again, the game cannot be already on the schedule because we cannot just, because it's already in the schedule, what's the point in adding it again? And B, the game must not be terminated. What this means is, if a game is terminated, they have run out of lives. Dependent on the position of games, depends on how many lives a game loses if they get eliminated. And just a reminder, the 2 games that are in last place in both Conference 1 and 2 will lose all 6 of their lives and will be terminated. And what that term means is that means the game cannot come back for the rest of the year. So vote wisely, because 2 games are going permanently. And that's basically how you do the polls. You would submit, and we will see you in the polls.